Now, if you're making an average of $2,000 per webinar, then in total, that will be $6,000 each month that you can expect from your live webinars, which is well over $70,000 for a full year off of one course, doing 3 webinars per month. Hey guys, if you want to join the thousands of creators that are making 6 and 7 figures selling their online course, then stick around, because in this video, we'll show you exactly the blueprint that you need to follow to grow your online course business. So before we move ahead, it's important to understand exactly what is an online course. Well, an online course is you simply selling your knowledge online. It's you compiling your unique experiences, knowledge, and solutions into a digital product and selling it to an audience. Now, if you're thinking about starting an online course, this may be the perfect time for you to do so. The global e-learning market is set to reach $325 billion by 2025, and 2020 has shifted the way that humans learn and earn. More and more individuals are turning to online courses as a means of learning and gaining knowledge. And also, a lot of creators and businesses are taking their services online, which means that you can sell your online course to a lot more people, but there's also a lot more competition online. The only way for you to get ahead of your competitors is to be able to have a better strategy. And that starts way before you even create the first piece of content for your course. The number one reason why many course creators fail to get their online course business off of the ground is not because of their content or their intentions, it's because they haven't done the market research. And that starts with validating your online course idea. Your passion may not translate into a thriving online course business because there isn't market demand. But we'll show you right now some strategies that you can implement to do market research and validate your online course idea. First, you need to think about what sort of course you're going to create. There's 2 main types of courses. The first is a course to educate, and the second is a course that teaches a hobby. Now, an educational course can be a course on real estate, on public speaking, on being a life coach, understanding the stock market, on making better YouTube videos, and so on and so forth. An online course that is catered for a hobby can be a course on arts and crafts, on being a better chef, on being a better painter, or learning how to play an instrument. Now, there's really no right or wrong answer when it comes to choosing which sort of course you should sell. The type of course that you choose to create should be based on your unique experience, your knowledge, and the solution that you bring to the market that is not currently there. So the best place to start is to think about what are the things that you're most experienced in, you have the most knowledge on, and that you're passionate about. And from there, you'll have a better understanding of what sort of course you should create. Now, to show you exactly how you can do market research and validate your online course idea, we'll be testing out 2 different online courses to see which one is better to create. First is creating a course about at-home workouts. The second is creating a course on public speaking. Now, the number one step that you want to do when validating your course idea is called keyword research. Now, keyword research is you finding out the number of times a term is searched on Google or the internet. So essentially, what we want to do is find out how many times at-home workouts and public speaking are being searched on the internet per month. There's a couple paid and free tools that you can use to do keyword research, but for this video, we'll be using the tool called Ubersuggest. Another free tool that you can use for keyword research is called the Google Keyword Planner. Now, the Google Keyword Planner gives you information on paid keywords. So for the purpose of this video, again, we'll be using Ubersuggest. Another great keyword tool is called keywords.io. Now, this is a paid tool, so if you have the budget and the experience, I would suggest you using keywords.io, because on Ubersuggest, you are limited to the amount of searches you can do. Another great paid tool is called SEMrush. The great thing about SEMrush is that it gives you a lot of information. You get information on keywords, on your audience, on your competitors, and on the whole market of whichever course you're planning to get into. And this can save you a lot of time and money at the beginning, and most importantly, it gives you information so you know whether or not you should continue with this course idea. Now, this is a paid tool, but there is a 7-day free trial in which you can use it to do market research. Use this tool for 7 days and get as much information as you can. And if you think that the tool is useful and valuable, then you can keep it. If not, you can always cancel it. Now, there will be a link in the bio in which you can sign up for SEMrush. But again, for the purpose of this video, we'll be using the free tool called Ubersuggest. So in order to find information on a keyword, all we have to do is type in that keyword into this toolbar. Now, what I do suggest is that you don't search up the actual title for your course. So because our course is based on at-home workouts, we'll search that up on Ubersuggest, at-home workouts. And I always recommend leaving your country to the United States because that gives you a better idea of the whole overall market. For the purpose of keyword research, we only want to focus on the search volume. Now, these other metrics are important, but they're not important right now. So as we can see, there's over 135,000 people that search up the keyword at-home workouts, and this is per month. So this is a good indication that there is quite a few number of people searching this up each month on Google. So this may be a course idea that has a demand. If you scroll down, you can see the search volumes per month for this keyword. So as you can see, for the first 2 months of the year, the search volume was a little bit lower, but again, still 33,000 mobile searches and 40,000 desktop searches, which is still quite high. As you can see, there was a huge spike in March with over 200,000 searches. And that's obviously because a lot more people were at home, so they were looking for at-home workouts. Now, as you can see, it kind of leveled off. But again, 74,000 mobile searches and 90,000 desktop searches. Like, that's a lot of people, right? If you think about even 1% of that getting to your course, that's a healthy course revenue. Scroll down, you can actually get some more information on the demographics of people who searched up at-home workouts on Google. So you can see here that 33% of the searches were people between the ages of 18 and 24. 40% of the searches done were between the ages of 35 to 44. And 23% of the searches done were between 45 and 54. So this gives you a better idea of your target audience and exactly where you can find them and who you should be looking for. So 70% of the people that searched up at-home workouts were between the ages of 18 and 54. So if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see suggestions of other keywords that are related to at-home workouts. So for instance, at-home leg workouts were searched over 50,000 times per month on Google. At-home workouts with dumbbells, 12,000. At-home work routines, 12,000 as well. And at-home workouts with dumbbells, again, 12,000. Now, the amazing part of keyword research is that you're not just only getting data and validating market demand, you're also getting an idea of how you can structure your online course. For instance, the general focus of your course can be at-home workouts, but you can create a module of at-home leg workouts. You can create a module of at-home workouts with dumbbells. So doing the market research allows you to know exactly what people are looking for so that you are able to cater for their needs. One way in which you can cater to your audience using this data is by having your marketing message target that audience. So for instance, your course can be at-home workouts for beginners with no equipment catered for women. Now, to get an estimation for the total market or how many people are searching for at-home workouts or a variation of that keyword, you would just have to download all of the keywords onto an Excel file. Okay, so here are all of the keywords relating to at-home workouts that people are searching up per month on Google. So we can see the total search volume for the keywords at-home workouts or a variation of that keyword is over 358,000 per month. Now, as we can see, over 22,000 people are searching up for public speaking on Google each month. Again, if we scroll down, we'll be able to see the search volume over time. One thing to note is that public speaking does seem to have more of a stable trend over the year. So as you can see, 30% of the searchers are between 25 and 34, and 34% of the searchers are between 35 and 44. And we have 16% between 45 and 54, and we have 14% are between 18 and 24. So over 60% of your searchers are between 25 and 44 in public speaking. So that is something that you have to keep in mind whilst doing your marketing. Now, if we scroll down, we'll also get a lot more suggestions of keywords that are related to public speaking and which people are searching for each month. Another pro tip when doing keyword research on Ubersuggest is if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, you actually get content ideas, and it shows you which articles are getting the most traffic relating to the keyword that you typed in. So you can see a very popular article is 5 public speaking tips that'll prepare you for any interview. Now, this is something that you can use in your own content marketing, such as on an Instagram post, on a LinkedIn post, on a blog post, or you can even create a YouTube video on this topic because you know it's already popular. Now, continuing with the keyword research, if we scroll down here, we can see again a lot more information about what people are searching up relating to public speaking. So maybe we can have our whole module in our course which addresses people with anxiety, which addresses maybe fear of public speaking and how to get over that. So now that we have a general idea for what people are searching up, we want to find again the total search volume for this keyword. As you can see, the total search volume is about 80,000 per month for public speaking. So our keyword research is now complete for public speaking, and we found that over 80,000 people search up public speaking or a variation of that keyword per month. Since we've done our research, we're in a much better position to make a decision on both of these keywords. As we found out, over 358,000 people are searching up for at-home workouts per month, and over 80,000 people are searching up public speaking per month. Now, this may seem like a no-brainer when it comes to which course idea should we go with. Of course, home workouts, right? But keep in mind the trends that we saw. Home workouts had a huge uptrend, but then came back down. Public speaking has been very high over time because people always want to speak better. Now, when doing keyword research, you never want to rely on one tool. You want to be able to look at different tools and different metrics to get a better understanding of the full market. So if we were to look at Google Trends for home workouts and public speaking, as you can see, public speaking has been a steady trend over the years, and at-home workouts has been increasing in search volume over the years and had a huge spike when everyone was in a lockdown. So based on these metrics and the amount of search volume, it would seem that at-home workouts would be a better course idea. A rule of thumb when validating your online course idea is to keep in mind that it's always easier to get a small portion of a big market rather than getting a big portion of a small market. So as you can see, home workouts is a bigger market, so it would be easier to get a smaller portion of that market. Again, that's just a rule of thumb. You want to be able to choose a course that has demand, but most importantly, if you're trained in public speaking, you might not want to do a course on home workouts and vice versa. So now that you've validated your online course idea, so now you want to start building an audience. And you want to do this as soon as possible and as earliest as you can. The reason why you want to do that is because it gives you instant feedback as to whether or not people are interested in your course material. Lucky for you, in 2021, there's a slew of places in which you can build an audience. You can build an audience on Discord, Facebook groups, Quora, TikTok or Instagram, YouTube. A piece of advice that I could give you is that when you're trying to build an audience, don't try to do it on every single platform. You'll become overwhelmed and you'll be stretching yourself so thin that you won't be able to build one great audience. What you should do is focus on 2 or 3 platforms in which you will build your audience on. The best platform that you should be focusing on to building your audience is number 1, YouTube, number 2, TikTok, and number 3, Quora or Reddit. We've chosen these 3 platforms because they all bring a unique benefit for you and your online course. On YouTube, you're able to create a targeted audience by giving out free information. This can allow you to have traction even before you create your course, so you can have an audience ready to sell to once your course is complete. TikTok is good because you're able to get a lot of attention very quickly. YouTube is great, but sometimes it takes time to build that following. On TikTok, you can give very quick information related to your course and you can build a following from there very quickly. You need to develop yourself and your brand as an expert in whichever field your course is in. And the way to do so is by participating with your target audience on forums such as Quora. We'll show you exactly how you can find your target audience on any forum right now. So what you're going to want to do is search up your course keyword plus the name of the forum in which you're looking for. So sticking to the course idea of home workouts, I would search out home workouts, Quora. What I would do, I would go into the most recent forum and start participating with members of that forum. I would also recommend that you go through each and every forum that is relevant to you and your course. So this is the perfect example of something that you can do to build your audience even before you create your course. So as you can see, this person has answered the question, what are some at-home workouts that you can do? So what they did was create a 30-minute workout for beginners that you can do at home. So it answers the question of the person who posted it in the forum. And they did a very nice detailed post in which you would have to do, but what they also added in is a video. Now this video is linked to their YouTube, and this is a strategy that you can implement for any course that you're creating. This person got over 500 views on this one post. Now what I would recommend if you're doing this, you need to have some sort of call to action. So what you want to have is, let's say even on the YouTube video in the description, you have a 30-minute at-home full workout in which you offer in exchange for an email. And once you're able to get that customer's email, then you can market to them and sell them once your full course is completed. If you want to find more forums online, you just follow the same format. You type in the keyword plus the forum in which you're looking for. And again, here we go guys. This is another forum that I found on Reddit. So this is exactly the type of forum that you need to be active on if your course idea is on working out at home. You don't want to come onto these forums and just send them to your YouTube video or send them to your website. You want to be able to give value first. So always give value first and then send them into your YouTube page and your website and get them to buy your course once the full course becomes available. What you want, the whole purpose of this is getting people familiar with you and familiar with your brand. If no one knows you or your brand, they will not buy for you. So these methods are methods for you to be able to increase the trust that customers are going to have with you once you launch your online course. Okay, great. So now you've started to build your online course audience. You found out exactly where they hang out online and you're giving value and people are becoming more familiar with you and your brand, and you're building a warm audience. So now you have to decide, where are you going to host your online course? Are you going to have your course self-hosted or on a marketplace? Now, self-hosted course simply means that the course is on your own website, which means you can use a platform such as Thinkific, Kajabi, and Teachable. So that means customer management, pricing, checkouts, and customer service will be done on your own website. If your course is on a marketplace, it would be on a marketplace such as Udemy or Skillshare, in which your course will be hosted on that marketplace, and once someone enrolls onto that marketplace, Udemy will then pay you, the creator, a percentage of that sales. So, you've validated your online course idea, you've started to build an audience, and you have a better idea of where you're going to host your online course. Now comes the most exciting and nerve-wracking part of any course creator's business. How do you actually sell your online course? But most importantly, how do you actually build a thriving business that brings in sustainable and everlasting income? If you want to build a thriving online course business, then you need to make transformational content. So transformational content is essentially your course identifying where your prospect is, where they want to be, and how your course content will be able to transform them from where they are to where they want to be. And in order to do that, you must have a clear course promise. So a course promise has to be specific and it has to be achievable. Your course promise has to be visible and it has to be loud in your marketing. So everyone that joins your course or is thinking about joining your course knows exactly what their outcome is going to be. Now, the best way to start developing your course promise is within your course title. So when thinking of naming your course, you never want to go with a course name such as Best Home Workouts at Home. Now, this course title is something that's very generic and it's very broad and it doesn't really address your target audience, nor does it give them a clear promise. A better title would be a title such as this: Lose 10 pounds in 60 days at home with no additional equipment. Now, in this title, you know exactly what your clients are supposed to be getting out of your course, which means you'll be able to measure your results better. But also within your marketing, you now know that you're targeting people that may stay at home moms, stay at home dads, people that are working from home. Also, you're targeting people that don't have equipment at home, which means that they may be beginners. So now that you have a better understanding of your target audience and it aligns with your course promise, you're able to market better to your specific target, right? Now you know that the person that you're targeting doesn't have any gym experience, doesn't have a membership to a gym. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, or they're working from home. So now that your course promise is aligned with your target audience, that allows you to have a more successful course. Now, another example would be, instead of naming your course How to Become a Better Public Speaker, and you want to be a little bit more specific. So for instance, you can name your course How to Guarantee That You Crush Your Next Work Presentation, or How to Guarantee That You Get a Job Offer with Your Communication Skills. You can make a public speaking course specifically for pastors. So when you get specific, then you're able to target your specific audience and you're not going broad. If you go too broad, then you actually won't be able to get as much results for your students, because at the end of the day, your course promise plus your course results will equal your course success. So now that you know how to formulate a course promise, we're going to talk a little bit about how to actually get and maintain student results. You want to start getting students' results as quick as possible. So what we always recommend is, when you're starting to build out your course, even before your full course has been created, you want to get a target group or a beta group. Now, this beta group, you can get them from anywhere online that we discussed earlier in the video, such as Quora, Reddit, Facebook groups, Instagram, YouTube. What you want to do is get some people that are interested within your course. Maybe they've replied to a comment on one of your free YouTube videos, or maybe they're very active in a forum on Reddit or Quora. So what you want to do then is reach out to those people and get them to be part of your beta group. So I always recommend that you don't charge this beta group. You know, you're still building out your product, so it's not 100% finished, and you're going to optimize and change things and remove things. So because your product isn't 100%, I wouldn't take any money from this group. You're strictly there to give them value and get results so that you can optimize your course, but then also you have a small group of people who now know your brand but have also gotten results from your course. So once you found between 10 to 15 people, I wouldn't recommend going 20 to 30, because you want to be able to offer personalized support to ensure that this beta group is able to get results. Because if you have a course and not 5 people can get results out of this course, then maybe your course material is incorrect, or maybe your course idea in general is incorrect. So what you want to do at this point is very critical. You want to get that first-hand experience from someone that's been through your course material. I would recommend at this point is that you don't wait until you've created your full course to then give access to the beta group members. What you want to do is you want to be able to offer them one-on-one coaching, right? So you can do this in a group setting or a one-to-one setting, just depending on your course material. So sticking with the example of losing 10 pounds in 90 days, what you would want to do is you would want to offer group coaching or one-on-one coaching or 2 live weekly Zoom calls, in which would be the same material that's going to be in your course, but you're offering it in a live format, which means you're not wasting time, but then you're also getting that instant feedback and that one-to-one feedback. So many people go out and they create a course, but they don't first do the market research, but also they don't get that first-hand information from the people that you're trying to sell your course to. So within these live meetings, you'll get a better understanding of how to package your online course and what things you need to add in and maybe what things you need to remove. So once you've worked with your beta group members for a while and you've built some rapport with them and they're actually getting results from your course material, what you want to do now is get some testimonials from them. Now, if you've done this correctly, you've charged them nothing, you've given them support, and they've actually achieved some sort of results in their life, more people than often will be willing to give you a video testimonial, a course review testimonial, anything that will help you build your social proof. So let's say out of those 15 people, you get 10 of them, or maybe 10 of them to give you written reviews, or 5 of them to give you a video testimonial. That really helps when you're formulating your marketing materials, your landing pages on your websites, just so that people can have more social proof and be able to know that you actually can get results from them because you've gotten results for other people. So it's very important to get testimonials from this beta group. So once you've gotten results and testimonials from your first beta group, I would recommend actually doing a second beta group. Now, if you're more confident within your second beta group and you know exactly what you need to do, then you can charge at this point. Now, I would recommend charging a little less than your full course, especially if your full course isn't complete as yet. Now, for your second beta group, you want to repeat the same thing that you did with your first beta group. You want to offer them some personalized support. You want to make sure that they're getting results, and then you want to get their testimonials once they've finished working with you. So once you follow these steps, you should have an online course that has a specific promise, but also an online course that gets results for people. Now, only at this point, I would suggest you start building out your paid advertising sales funnels or your organic sales funnels as well. Now, I'll show you right now the #1 way in which you can set up a sales funnel that gets you sales all throughout the year, but most importantly, it's a predictable and proven method to getting you online course sales. And it's a very simple process. So what you want to do is send traffic to an opt-in page. An opt-in page is a opt-in page or a landing page which has your name and your email, and you collect that information in exchange for something else. Now, that exchange is going to be for a live webinar. Now, if you are teaching a course on how to lose 10 pounds in 90 days, your live webinar can have a mini workout in which you're doing to a live audience. Let's say if you're doing a public speaking course, you want to be able to then relay in that webinar why or how you've become a better public speaker and how you can help your audience become a better public speaker in that webinar. Right? And at the end of this webinar, what you want to do, once you've built a rapport, people know you, then what you want to do is then sell them to your paid online course. Now, the reason why you want to do a webinar is that when you're first starting out, again, you may have a small beta group of results, but you're not well known. You don't have a brand. Now, if you send traffic from paid advertising or organic advertising to your opt-in page, which could be a sales page, most likely that will not convert. The reason is no one is going to buy the course because they don't know you, they don't know your brand, and they don't know if you can get them results. Now, that doesn't mean that your course material isn't good. It just means that no one knows about your course material. So the best and quickest, fastest, easiest, cheapest way to get over that is to do a live webinar. We were building out courses. We would send people to landing pages. We would do email marketing with them. We would do all these things and try to avoid a live webinar. But what we found is that the live webinar, you're able to then build a rapport with someone. If someone doesn't know you, but if they watch a hour-long webinar, then they know a little bit more about you, about your brand. And if you're able to position yourself as someone that can bring them results, then most likely they will buy from you in that online webinar. When you're getting traffic to go to an opt-in page for their emails and their names, it's a lot more of a lower cost to you. So you're advertising a free webinar. People love free, so you'll get a lot of people that are going to want to join your webinar, which means your advertising costs, if you are doing paid advertising, will be a lot cheaper. But what it also means is that you're going to have a lot of names and emails in which you can use to remarket if someone doesn't attend your webinar, or if you want to do some email marketing with them at that point. You know, if you're hosting another webinar in a week, you can use those emails for that, or if you want to send them to your YouTube page, or if you want to send them to a sales page, right? You can do that at that point because now they're a little bit more familiar with your brand. But I always recommend, the rule of thumb is you give, and then you take, right? So many people want to take, but in an online course business, in any sort of business, you want to give value first. Okay, so let's do some quick math to see how many people you can expect to have on your webinar and how many sales you can expect to have on your first webinar. So let's say you're able to send 1,000 people from paid advertising or organic advertising, as we discussed in the video earlier. So let's say you're able to get 1,000 people to go to an opt-in page. And out of that 1,000 people, let's say 10% of them give you their names and their emails, right? So that will leave 100 people in the opt-in page. Now let's say out of the 100 people, 50 people actually attend your webinar, because of course not everyone's going to attend. Maybe something will come up, you know, maybe they'll be busy, maybe they'll have work. So let's say out of that, half of them show up to your live webinar, which would be a pretty good number. But again, we're doing some sort of low numbers here because I want it to be more realistic for you. Now, out of those 50 people that come to your webinar, let's say 10 of them purchase your course. In terms of course pricing, it really does depend on your experience, your course material. Many online coaches preach that you should be selling courses that are not less than $1,000. You should be selling $5,000 courses, $10,000 courses. Now, I think that is fine once you're able to provide that value for that price point. Now, if you're not able to provide that sort of value for that price point, you have to price it at what you're giving. So keeping in mind that this is probably your first live webinar, right? Maybe your course still needs to be completed. Maybe there's some holes that need to be filled. We'll price it at a reasonable price of $199, which is a very good price. You know, you see courses that are being sold for thousands of dollars that really don't do much. So for $199, it's a very decently priced course, but also for the materials that you're giving, it's a fair transaction. For $199, let's say 10 people bought your course, that will bring in a revenue of almost $2,000. Now, if only half of those people buy your course, which is only 5 people, priced at $199, your course will then bring you $995, almost $1,000, right? And when you think about that, right, this is just one live webinar that you did. I would suggest that you continually do as many live webinars as you can. Once you're getting the right traffic and once your course is not complete, this becomes a predictable sales structure or sales cycle that you can do at any time, right? Another thing that you can do, a little bit of a tip, is if you don't want to do live webinars, what you can do is you can record one of your really good webinars and then just replace it with a live webinar. So instead of a person opting in and having to choose a date and a time for a live webinar, you give them access to the live webinar right away, right? By doing so, you'll be able to get a lot more people to look at the content, because instead of them waiting a couple days, it's right there as they go on to the next page. And from there, you'll be able to get a lot more sales. And what that means now is that you are out of the picture. So this becomes a much more automated process, and this is going on every single day, right? But let's stick to the live webinar. So let's say even at the live webinar, At $2,000 per webinar, let's say that you've decided to do 3 live webinars per month. Now, if you're making an average of $2,000 per webinar, then in total, that will be $6,000 each month that you can expect from your live webinars, which is well over $70,000 for a full year off of one course, doing 3 webinars per month. Now, that is a very, very good income. That is above averages for most countries as well. And this is just one system, one method in which you can use for sales. There's a variety of different methods, but I do recommend, if you are a beginner, that this is the format that you follow, because you want to be able to do a live webinar because that builds more rapport and it gets you more sales. Now, let's say if you, instead of doing a live webinar, you added in a automated webinar as well, and then you can obviously see that this number would be a lot more. But this is something in which you can make after you've done all of those steps and you're on the step of selling your course and you create this sort of sales system. Now, if you guys want more strategies related to selling your online course, just comment below and let us know exactly what is the biggest hurdle that you're facing right now when it comes to your online course. If any of the strategies that we discussed today in this video helped you get one step closer to launching your online business or one step closer to making more money in your online business, then we do ask that you subscribe, that you leave a comment below, that you like the video, that you just engage with us. We want to know exactly what your pain points are and how exactly we can make videos to help you alleviate those pain points.